Okay, so let's talk about the cytology of bone, specifically the four different cells, the four primary cells that we are going to look at in our bones. So again, there are four. The first of the four is going to be called an osteoprogenitor cell. This is like the grandfather cell. It's going to be responsible for generating all the other cells. Osteoblasts are going to be our builder cells. They're going to secrete the matrix or the osteoid that builds our bone. If you don't know what osteoid is, check out the bone composition video. Then we have osteocytes. These are our managers. Finally, we have our osteoclasts. Osteoclasts are going to be our cleaners. They're going to get rid of old bone, broken bone, anything like that. And the osteocytes are going to manage the activity of the osteoclasts and the osteoblasts. They tell them what to do. So let's talk a little bit about these cells, where they come from, that kind of thing. So in lab, you've talked about how mesenchyme is the tissue that all of us start with or originate from, because it's the fetal tissue. And in that mesenchyme, the cells are going to differentiate into stem cells. And our stem cells for our bones are going to be called osteoprogenitor cells. So the mesenchymal tissue just becomes stem cells, specifically osteoprogenitor cells. And we're going to draw the osteoprogenitor cell like this with a P in the middle. And when the osteoprogenitor cell divides, it's going to produce two different types of cells. The first is going to be a committed cell. The other one is going to be another osteoprogenitor cell. That's so that when this osteoprogenitor cell divides, it can divide into a committed cell and a progenitor cell. And then when this one divides, it can repeat the process all over again. This way we never run out of osteoprogenitor cells. Now, committed cells are kind of like what you might have heard people talking about in high school, committing to certain colleges. In high school, when a high school athlete commits, they say, someday I'm going to play, basketball for SFA. Now, the committed cells for our bones are saying, someday I'm going to become an osteoblast. I promise. So they will someday become an osteoblast. And osteoblasts are our builder cells. They are sitting there and they are just secreting out all kinds of bone matrix and osteoid and building brand new bones in our body. So our osteoblasts are going to secrete matrix. That's how they build. But eventually that matrix is going to harden. And when the matrix around the osteoblast hardens, then inside of it, we now are going to call that cell an osteocyte because it's trapped. Because the matrix around it is hard, it can't build any more cells, any more bone. Now it just has to sit there and manage and tell other osteoblasts, hey, build, build, build. Or telling osteoclasts, hey, I need your help. Can you clean something up for me? Now, That's 3 of our cells. But our osteoclasts are going to kind of be the black sheep of our family. Draw them fluffy like a sheep. Let me clean that up. I can do better than that. Okay. I have it so it has a little mouth. That's because osteoclasts eat. They eat up old bone, they get rid of it. But they're made of a bunch of fused immune cells. So it's a bunch of cells put together. And it has this ruffle border to increase the surface area. Which also increases the amount of bone the osteoclast can absorb at once. The same way the microvilli on our cells from the last test clean things up. Okay. These are the 4 types of bone cells. I hope that this helped.